Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Mary's Mondays Real Estate Magic. And it's been a couple weeks since I've been here, and I've kind of changed things up a little bit. I was doing them first thing Monday morning, 8 o'clock. Just a quick snapshot, a quick magic moment, if you will. And I've decided to make these a little bit longer, go into a little bit more detail, and provide a little bit more value. So I hope you enjoy the new format. I'm only going to be doing them every other week at noon on Monday. My next episode won't be next Monday, but the Monday following. And I will be, I've asked my dear friend and colleague, Debbie Battersby, who has transitioned from a 40-year career in real estate to becoming a very successful real coach and executive coach and personal development specialist. She will be joining me the next time, and we'll be having an interesting conversation. So I hope you can join me then. And today, what I want to talk about is if you are a seller and you need to be on the market. We're just a couple of weeks away from Thanksgiving and the holidays, which traditionally is the slowest part of the year for the real estate market. People are generally hunkered down and celebrating the holidays and focusing on everything family and parties and cooking. Of course, this year we won't be doing so much parties and family. But nonetheless, traditionally, over the years, this has been our slowest season of the year. So if a seller is on the market at this time of the year, it's usually because they really need to sell. And quite often I work with buyers at this time of the year. It's what I call investor season, because if a seller is on the market, they're usually pretty motivated to sell. But but if you're a seller and you need to be on the market and you need to be out of your property, there's definitely some strategies that you can utilize to get the job done. Just because it's our slow season doesn't mean that there aren't buyers out there looking. And I've created a timeline to share with you. That kind of goes through the process. I've talked about many of these steps individually in previous segments in my Monday Morning Magic. My just covered a brief snapshot. Today, I'd like to go into it in a little bit more depth and a little bit more coherent step one, step two, step three fashion, so that you have a better idea. If you have a question, I don't have anybody helping me field questions, so I won't be able to see them while I'm live, but by all means, put them in the chat and I will absolutely respond to you and get back to you after I'm done today. So if you have a question, if you want me to email you any of my slides or any of my material, I'm happy to do that as well. So just put that in the chat and I will definitely get back to you. Let's see, I want to share my timeline with you. Let's start there with the timeline. Where am I? Here we go. All right, let's start here. Oop, let's get rid of this. All right, hopefully you're seeing this. And this is, like I said, the step one, step two, step three process of what to do to get your, this is the wrong slide. Sorry about that. Here we go, right slide. To get your property on the market. And the first thing you want to look at is positioning yourself in the market. We look at, evaluate comparable homes, look at what's going on with market trends, and this is a very, very specific and localized analysis that we want to do. what could be true in Lincoln Square, for instance, may not be true in, I don't know, Auburn Gresham, just to pull a name out of my hat. What's going on in one part of town. So it's not good enough to just look at what's going on in the Chicago market overall or the Chicago land market. We really need to look at each little pocket neighborhood and what's going on in your specific neighborhood. As you probably have heard me talk in my market updates that I do every month, um, we talk very generally. We talk about the Chicagoland market, what's going on, but it's very much a localized, very specific thing that we need to review. One thing that you definitely do not, you always want to be competitively priced, and no matter what time of year. But if you're on the market over the holidays, you have to be competitively priced. It's the only way you're going to get attention and for your property. There are buyers out there, definitely, and many buyers are starting to wind down for the holidays. However, uh, buyers are motivated. Buyers that are in the market right now are motivated, and even if they wind down, they're still kind of keeping their finger on the pulse of what's going on. And if you come in at what is perceived as a below market price, it's going to definitely create urgency. So pricing is absolutely key. And of course, that's something when we go through the comps, the sale of comparable homes, we will discuss. Then the next step is preparing to come to market. And if you're thinking about coming on in the market in the spring, which of course is our primary market selling season, spring is after we've all hunkered down for the winter. Buyers are ready to get back out. And sometimes, depending on the economy and interest rates and what's going on in the world, spring can mean as soon as January 5th, for instance. As soon as people come back from the holidays, they're ready to rock and roll. If it's Chicago and it's 20 below out, that might put a damper on things. But if it's a good weather, the weather is cooperating and the economy is cooperating. I've had very, very busy January. So if you're thinking coming on in the spring market, that's certainly something we want to keep our eye on, see what's going on in the world, and if we want to be ready for January market. One of the things, though, in order to get ready to come to market, you will want to definitely stage your property and get it cleaned up. One of the things I tell my sellers is that nobody lives in a home the way you do when you are on the market and have to show it to buyers. Buyers have gotten very educated by TV shows like HGTV and all of the fix and flip shows that are on TV. And there is a certain expectation that a property will look a certain way, will be a certain way, and buyers can have a tough time seeing past the staging and the cosmetics to actually see the property. It's an unusual buyer that can actually do that. So one of the things I wanted to show you, and I've talked about this again in previous magic moments, is the staging. And Compass has a program called Compass Concierge. It's really a fabulous program, and what it is, it depends on how much equity you have in your property. If you have sufficient equity, Compass will actually provide you the upfront money to put to get your property ready to come to market. And typically, we're not talking a major renovation. We're talking cosmetic, fresh coat of paint. Well, let me show you. I want to show you some of these before and after photos, and I think they're quite fascinating. Oh, where are they? Where are my before and after photos? Here they are. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you are seeing this. I'm hoping that my technology is working and that you're able to see all of this that I want to show you. But this is just an example of some of the things that, here's a little house, probably a $3 million house in Santa Monica. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm not actually kidding, but here's a little modest bungalow. And this is a before photo. You can see that they need to clean out their gutters. The lawn is looking a little unkempt. And here is the after photo. After the Compass Concierge program came in, you can see they cleaned out the gutters. They low-limbed this tree, cut off the branches that were hiding the house. Here's the before. I didn't even notice these skylights before. And here you can see they really pop out. And they just kind of cleaned up the yard, just gave it, a clean look. You have concrete steps, you have cedar steps. Didn't even notice that because they were the same color. I mean, some of it is photography, but clearly not all of it. And this just has a much better curb appeal. It's kind of an amazing thing, actually. Let's see, here's the next one. Here's the before photo. Dining room. And actually, if I were to see this picture in the MLS, I would think, this is an attractive room. You have a little bit of a mismatch with the mid-century light fixture along with a very traditional dining room. We do have toys kind of stashed away neatly. Granted, they're neatly stashed. And if I were to see this in the MLS, I would say, okay, it's attractive. But then here's the before, after. They gave it a fresh coat of paint. They changed out the furniture to make it a little bit more congruent with the light fixture. They took the toys out of the corner and put a nice plant in the living room. Not a lot, just very simple little things to fix it up and make it appealing and a little more neutral to the buyer. Here's the next one I want to show you. And again, this is another one, not an unattractive photo. A little bit idiosyncratic, I would say, with the purple, but not unattractive. It makes the white trim pop. They have this very, what do you call this style of furniture? But, it's very traditional. Here's the after photo. They've made it white, neutral, clean, bright, not so idiosyncratic, but still kitschy, if you want to say that, with the dining room chairs. And it just gives a much more neutral, in this picture I've noticed there's the blue tile, there's a refrigerator, a nice stainless refrigerator in the kitchen, and the features of the property stand out rather than the idiosyncratic paint color. So these are the kinds of things. Oh, this is my favorite one. Here's a before photo. Very dramatic, stunning space, just kind of a blank canvas. But again, here's the after being staged. Now you can imagine yourself living in this property. Just really stunning variation. How a buyer can see themselves living here versus this blank canvas where they're kind of wondering, it's a dramatic space, but what do I do with it? And buyers don't really have a huge amount of imagination. It definitely helps to fill in the blanks for them. So that's the staging. And then once that's done, we come out with the photography, we do the floor plans. All of this is the virtual, putting it out into the internet. Of course, since COVID is absolutely critical, and having good photography, professional photography, having a floor plan, doing virtual tours where the buyer doesn't actually need to even come out to the property. Of course, I never recommend that a buyer buy a place without at least coming in and seeing it. Then once we've got all of that in place, and that can take 2 weeks, 30 days, depending on how much staging you do, how long that takes. If the house is ready to rock and roll and we can go right into the photography, that goes very quickly. We can get the property ready in a week to come to market. But that's why if you're thinking about coming on for spring market, it is not too early to start getting these pieces in place so that when you come to market, you come on with a bang. As is so often said, you never get a second chance to make a good first impression. So you want to come on the market with all of your ducks in a row and ready to go. Your best buyers are traditionally the very first buyers that come through. There's an old real estate maximum that says um, your first offer is often your best offer. And the reason that is because the buyers that come through at the beginning, within the first few days, within the first week of the property being on the market, are the buyers that have been out in the market. And they have been out there, they've educated themselves, they've seen everything that's out there, they're waiting for their property to come on. And so when it hits, that's why you need to come on with a bang. They are ready to rock and jump on it. Those are typically your best buyers, and it's not unusual to have those buyers come through right away because they're waiting for the right property. One of the things that is another unique, I didn't finish saying about Compass Concierge. The Compass Concierge program. As I had said, Compass actually fronts if you have enough equity in your home, Compass will front you the money. They're at no interest and there are no fees. The reason Compass is willing to do that is because, and then the proceeds come out of your sale when you do close. Like I said, it's critical that you have enough equity in your home, that you not be upside down, et cetera. But if you have enough equity in the home, it's a really simple process to go through in terms of applying and getting the money. Compass gives you a debit card. You can use any contractor you want. If you want a referral to a contractor, we can help you with that. You can take the debit card, go to Home Depot and do it yourself if you'd like. We don't really recommend that. You have to have quotes from a licensed contractor, but there's a lot of flexibility. No interest, no fees, and Compass gets paid back out of your proceeds at closing. So they've really made it simple, and I don't think anybody else in the industry has a program that's even close to matching that. It's pretty awesome. So we get the property ready, we come on the market. One of the things that we like to do is put it in the coming soon. That's the next thing that I wanted to talk about. We put it on compass.com. Our MLS allows us to put it into a private listing network. And it's a way to, if you have a unique property, every property is somewhat unique, but if you have a property that's difficult to price for some reason, coming soon is a nice feature where we can market the property kind of under the radar. And in today's market, we actually are selling a lot of properties off of the coming soon feature. It might be in there for a few days, might be there a week, maybe 2 weeks. And coming soon is actually in the private listing network is actually a tool that we can use if you are currently on the market with your property and don't want to be on over the holidays, formally over the holidays, racking up marketing days where nobody's coming through the property. We can pop it into the private listing network. It doesn't rack up market time, but it's still not completely off the market either. So if there is a buyer that's out there looking, that's another strategy that we can use for the holidays. And typically we will put something in the private listing network until the photography and everything is done, so that when the floor plans and the photography and all comes back, we can come into the MLS with a bang. So that's next step, putting it in the MLS. Once it's in the MLS, it goes out, populates the internet, it goes out to the world. Um, and we can then order the sign, the for sale sign, to go into the yard, or if it's a high rise, then obviously we don't use a for sale sign, but a single family home or a multi-family property, we would definitely want a yard sign. And this is something that's kind of changed over the years, me being an old timer. What I've learned about yard signs, it used to be that it was a way for buyers to actually find out, and there was a way for real estate agents to get leads, sign calls, because the buyers had to come to us as real estate agents to get that information. Well, now what they do is it alerts buyers, people who are looking in the area, in a specific neighborhood, that that property is available, and sends them to the internet. So we don't get so many sign calls as we used to in the old days, but it does generate activity and generate showing. So signs are still very important. And then, of course, there's our email campaign and all of the marketing things that we do to get your property sold. And that's the same whether it's the holidays or not the holidays, but oh, I'm not sure I shared any of this with you. I think I may have had some technical difficulties, and I'm talking about something that I'm not sharing with you. Well, that's disappointing. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, well, anyway, I'll have to go back and, like I said, if you have questions, if you want me to send you my slides, I'm happy to do that. I think I did. I think the technology kind of messed me up today. But anyway, so positioning, preparing, putting it in the MLS, and then all of the marketing that we do, and of course showing and doing all the things. And this is basically our timeline for getting a property from thinking about selling to actual moving day and closing. So there we go. It there's a lot of steps, as you can see, to getting a property sold. But the primary points that I want to make is that if you're coming on the holidays, you can absolutely get your property sold, but pricing is absolutely critical. And I'm just going to take a look here and see if I can show you what I wanted to show you with my before and after photos. I'm not going to go through the conversation again, but at least pull them up so you can see them. I'm hoping that you're seeing this. Let's see. Okay. I think this is what I needed to do. All right. Hopefully now you're able to, this is the exterior photo. That's the before. Here's the after with the low limbed, cleaned up gutters, the skylights. Yes. Okay. I think it's working now. I think I got it right. I hope I have it right. Okay. Let me close this so as not to confuse things. Here's the Laguna Beach, the dining room. I just want to make sure I'm sharing this with you. It looks like I am. I think I can share it with you here better. I think this might be better. This is a before photo, the mid-century satellite Sputnik light fixture with the traditional table and the toys in the corner. And here's the redo of it. And I just want to make sure that I'm sharing the right thing with you. It looks like I am now. Yes, here's the redo of the dining room where the table and the Sputnik light fixture, the toys are gone, and the plant is in the corner. I also noticed that they painted the fireplace here white. here it's the traditional fireplace. They painted it white in the new one. Let me just make sure I'm sharing that with you. Okay, let me close these and let me share the, what did I do? Okay. Oh yes, okay. And then here's the purple dining room. This is more complicated than I thought it was going to be. I'm so sorry about this. I didn't realize it was going to be this complicated. I thought it would follow along with me. This is the before photo. Here's the after photo. The purple dining room now has become a white dining room. And here's my favorite one, the contemporary space. And let me just make sure I'm sharing it with you. Here we go. And very dramatic contemporary space. And here it is once it's been staged. Here we go. I guess I have to do this individually with each one. There probably is a better way to do this, but anyway, for now, I just love these before and after photos. So I hope you love them too, and I hope it's worth the effort for me to go back and share them with you. And again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. One of the things I have noticed attending a lot of Zoom meetings lately is that people who are much more tech savvy and sophisticated than I am are also having challenges. So I don't feel so bad when I run into technical challenges. Anyway, so again, if you have any questions about any of that, please comment in the chat box. I hope you found it valuable. And I do want to encourage sellers who are on the market over the holidays that we can absolutely get the job done for you. Don't feel like you're just going to be saddled with your property for the next 2 months without being able to get it gone. But you will have to be realistic about what you can get for it. And if you're thinking about coming on for spring, spring can start as early as, like I said, January 5th can start our spring market if conditions are right. So it's not too early to think about doing all the things you need to do to get the house property staged and ready to come to market. So that's that. And I will be back in 2 weeks, again, as I said, with my friend Debbie Battersby. We're going to be talking about how to navigate these times, these COVID lockdowns. And I know a lot of us are feeling a lot of anxiety about it. And Debbie is an expert in how to handle the mental and emotional anguish of the times that we're living through. So I hope you can join me in 2 weeks with Debbie Battersby, my good friend. And there you go. So have a great day. Have a great rest of the week. And enjoy our beautiful California November type weather that we're having here in Chicago. It's just been fabulous weather, and we're really lucky to have it. And I hope you're able to enjoy it. Be well, stay safe, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Bye for now.